The long summer break is over. It's time for Formula One to get back going with the Belgium Grand Prix. It's the 14th stop on the 2022 calendar, a calendar that's been dominated by one and only Max Verstappen. But coming into the next three races, a triple header as well, it could turn the balance. It's Belgium this weekend before going off to the Netherlands, Verstappen's home race, and then off to Ferrari's home race at Monza in Italy. Then after a 2-week break, we're in Singapore for the longest race of the season, always hits 2 hours. Then a week later, it's Japan as well. Then 2 weeks off before United States and Mexico form a double header. Another break before Sao Paulo on the 13th of November, and the season rounds out in the 20th of November in Abu Dhabi. Max Verstappen leads the Drivers' Championship then on 80 points after spinning and winning last time out in Budapest. Charles Leclerc is second, he's only 80 points back, that's an astonishing gap. Sergio Perez is third, 85 points back from Verstappen, they're the three mathematically in the hunt for the title. George Russell 2 points clear of Carlos Sainz as well. Lewis Hamilton is 10 further back in 6th place, his worst season in F1 history. Lando Norris is 7th in a battle with Esteban Ocon and Valtteri Bottas. Fernando Alonso rounds out the top 10. Kevin Magnussen has 22 points in 11th ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, who is just clear of Pierre Gasly, who's now level on points with Sebastian Vettel. Mick Schumacher is a point clear to Yuki Tsunoda, Zhou Guanyu has 5, Lance Stroll 4, Alexander Albon the last driver with points in 3, Nicholas Latifi still pointless this season, and Nico Hülkenberg only did 2 races right at the start of the year. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way on 431 points. Ferrari and Mercedes are still on 330s and they are battling each other. Then we get Alpine in 4th, McLaren 5th, they're quite close together. Alfa Romeo in a battle with Haas, but who are mainly in a battle with AlphaTauri. Aston Martin close behind them and Williams still have 3 points. It's second practice for the 2022 Belgium Grand Prix. Let's take a look around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. 7 kilometres long, 19 turns with 9 to the left and 10 to the right. 2 DRS detection zones. It is the highest and longest track of the year. Starting a lap then on board with one of the McLarens. Downhill towards turn 1, the La Source hairpin. Down to second gear, 95 kilometres an hour. Control the exit, don't put too many wheels wide as you head down the National Straight. Coming in to the Red Water Eau Rouge, flat out 8th gear to 315 as you climb the hill to the top of Radillon and come down the Kemmel Straight, 8th gear, 325 kilometres an hour. You're flat out with the DRS as you drop down all the way to the Lacombe chicane, 4th gear, 180. Rise that up as you come into Malmedy now in 6th gear and 235 kilometres. Drop down towards Ravage, down to 4th gear, 140 kilometres. Drop down to 3rd if the track grip hasn't got it as you come into Speaker's Corner through turn 9. Flat out then towards Puong at turns 10 and 11. Flat out, 8th gear usually at 290 kilometres an hour at the exit as you rise up towards the Fagnes chicane. Drop all the way down, 5th gear, 175 kilometres an hour as you brave your way through to Stavolo. Down, 6th gear, down to 4th gear at the exit. Curve to Port Frere, you're in 7th gear, 295 kilometres an hour as you rise up, 310, 325 kilometres an hour as you blast through turn 16, the first part of the fearsome Blanchimont now, flat out if you dare, before you come into the modified bus stop chicane, all the way down to, once again, 2nd gear, just 110 kilometres an hour. Ride the curbs, control the exit, fire it to the line, and that is a lap of Spa-Francorchamps. It's time for the second practice session to get underway here as well for the 2022 Belgium Grand Prix. We're at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps And this fantastic racetrack, built on the calendar is 1950. But, once again, this is only, are you ready for this, the 54th time we've raced in Belgium. And it's the 54th time it's been raced here at Spa-Francorchamps. The other times, it was held at Zandvoort as well. Not Zandvoort, at Zolder in the previous circulation. 7 kilometres, 102.2 metre elevation change of the run-up throughout Eau Rouge, the top of Malmedy. This track is everything it needs to be in drama. Tyre compounds, Pirelli have brought the C4 soft, the C3 medium and the C2 hard compound tyre as well. They're hard, medium and soft to get used to as well throughout this session. And as we take a look around the Ardennes forest, it looks quite peaceful right now as well. Air temperature is at 18 degrees. Track temperature is 21 degrees. 83% humidity on the top there as well. It looks quite nice and very relaxing out there as well as we get ready for free practice number 2. 9.7 kilometres an hour wind speed as well, blowing in down there. And I think it's a very tasty operation we're going to have so far here today. And guess what's working, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, you guessed it, 110% right. The normal apparatus working for the overall features, which is the new graphics computer. So this is what you're going to see normally. But if I open up Google Chrome, you can see it changes to a different driver track. And if I press button 7, you get to see the telemetry as well as the driver tracker in operation as well, and the race control messages from Josh as well. So that'll be throughout, and then all I've got to do is hit Chrome again and minimize. Well, it's minimised the Chrome, and it disappears. We've got some music on in the background as there, which I'm fairly sure isn't copyright free. So I'll do my best to minimise that as well around here at the circuit, despite Francorchamps, as they come through. Talking about it, 2 minutes to go. Track temperature, you can see 21 degrees. Well, the track temperature, 21 degrees as well for the Belgian Grand Prix. It's a 7 kilometres an hour track. 44 laps ahead of us on Sunday as well. And we should get 44 laps as well, which is great news. We've had confirmed more drivers taking grid penalties coming into today as well. Just announced it will be Lando Norris now with a grid penalty as well. So there's a lot more taking penalties than what we ever anticipated, which means that the grid on Sunday is going to look completely different. So qualifying is almost becoming irrelevant because it's just not needed. Max Verstappen, though, an 80-point lead in the Drivers' Championship. He is on 100. It's on 258. Leclerc on 178. Perez 173. They're the three who can win the championship. Russell is 100 points behind Verstappen. Sainz is 102 points back. Lewis Hamilton is 122 points behind the championship leader as well. Oh, sorry, 112 being done, you're correcting me. So, honestly, you just can't write this stuff. Honestly, it's so dramatic and different to what we've seen at any point this year. There's George Russell, no wins, 5 podiums, 1 pole position, 10 top 12s, and no fastest laps being appeared so far, but he's had a much better run at the situation than what we've seen previously as well. Field just getting ready to go up.
On the medium.
Getting ready to push on the medium. There's Yuki Tsunoda on the team radio as well as we get going. 20 seconds until the green light. Megan Burch has just completely vanished from the commentary box as well as they come through. But 10 seconds to go. Josh, oh, actually, I've just texted her. She's walking to the back of the commentary box now. As ever, late, but fashionably on time as the green light goes on now, and practice 2 is underway here for the Belgium Grand Prix. Megan Burch joins me in the commentary box. Hello, Megan.
Hi.
What do you?
I just realised I forgot my other ring.
You have forgot your other ring, but you're going to have to talk a bit louder at some points today than normal.
Oh, I know.
What do you reckon then to the audio as the track goes green?
It's good.
Yeah, it is good. And look what's working as well. Are all the driver trackers working?
Ah.
Yes.
That's unusual. It feels weird to be able to hear us and see
Yeah.
it.
Sure. Who's going out on track? Who's the lead driver? Zhou Guan Yu. Where is he? Let's select Zhou. I need to select Zhou actually on the monitor. I can't see where he is. There he is, top of the board. So this is what our new battle computer looks like with Zhou Guan Yu. And there's Josh Plays walking into the comment box as well after his radio show. Well done, Josh, on your radio show. I did hear the tail end of it as you had it on as well to come through on the commentary monitor. But yeah, that is our new battle telemetry screen, as well as our driver tracker in operation as well that you'll be seeing. So that is what Joe Grant News is currently doing out there on the circuit in live telemetry as the cars go through. There's Carlos Sainz through the Rock-and-Ring corner as well.
Do you reckon anyone's going to crash?
More down on this lap, we just heard as well from one of the drivers. Say again, Max.
Do you reckon anyone's going to crash?
Is anyone going to crash? Likelihood, yes. Possibility, yes.
It's looking damp out there.
It is looking damp, yeah, as they come through. Just minimise that and get back to the other driver tracker as well. Rained at the start of free practice number 3. Let's have from Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, track is a bit more damp than expected.
So good enough for sleep.
Exactly what you said, Megan. The track is a bit more damp than what you expected. And
Good eyes.
Good eyes, yeah. We did see that the weather at the end of free practice 1 was quite dramatic as well. Yeah, there you go. We did see the weather in free practice 1 was, it rained heavily at the end of FP1, and it was wet as well throughout the session, but we should be in for quite a calm session now that everyone's going out there.
Hopefully. I don't want a red to appear. A yellow, sure, though no reds. I think we've had enough reds today.
Yeah, just about as well. What do you think of the new computer that we can see?
I like it.
I know, I do too. It means that we can keep an eye on the pit lane channel finally after years of wanting to and waiting to. Cars heading through, and I'm delighted to say, if I can get it ready, we'll go over to the battle screen just quickly while we do get it ready, but Josh Plays has walked into the commentary box as well, and with it, very loud on board of Carlos Sainz as well to take through, but hopefully, Josh, it has worked as well. We've got pit radio. We'll know who's talking when. And good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. After that, some radio?
Not that I'm hearing.
Right. Okay, yeah, after a very busy hour, and it's time for another very busy hour with Formula 1. We practice 2. I didn't catch all of the F3 qualifying, but I believe it was Jack Crawford went off and caused a red flag.
Yeah.
I believe, but here we are. We turn our attention away from Formula 3 and turn our attention to Formula 1, and then later on turn our attention to Formula 2. But on board with Carlos Sainz now, and this is great. The new timing screen's all here, and
well, I haven't got them operational just... I've got it operational on my end as well. In fact, if we're on board with Carlos Sainz...
Yeah, track is a bit more damp than expected.
Understood.
We need to find out where Sainz is, and Sainz got held up there actually as well. Here's Carlos Sainz on the telemetry run then with the other timing screen to really see what we're on about here, because he's going flat out towards the bus stop now as well. In fact, hang on a minute. Where is Sainz? According to the driver tracker on my end, Sainz is very far behind where he actually is, because he's at the last corner now, crossing the line. And on the driver tracker we've got on F1.com, he's a couple of miles away. So we'll refresh that to see if that works out and get it all set up. But we've been waiting a long time for things like this, haven't we, with the battle cameras? And I'm glad it's finally working. And we've finally got audio as well as Verstappen looking quite quick up there as well. That was Sainz on the radio, just heard as well. And if any team radios pop up, you'll be getting to see it in the screen just below the driver tracker, along with any race control messages as well, where Josh is as well. So he's got more data screens to look at than ever before. And we've got audio of the tracks actually here too. He's just seen Valtteri Bottas do a lap as well on the other computer monitor, looking quite good. Verstappen goes top, 1:47.699 though, to go top of the board so far. And I believe now I've stopped messing around with it. The driver track is actually behaving. Still a bit bumpy.
Understood. If you want, we can start the first couple of laps in scenario 3, sustainable to build up.
Still a bit bumpy in places, being told. Here's Charles Leclerc coming through. Oh, big lock-up, Megan, coming into the comms for Leclerc.
I wonder if he hit a wet patch.
I think he did, look, hit a wet patch and it went bang straight on.
And weirdly, who was the car behind him?
Russell.
Russell. He just was like, okay, I just saw him go through that wet patch. I'll go through the same exact spot. That'll help.
Yeah, Russell not doing too well there as well. And Josh, what's that radio message say?
Leclerc missed the apex of turn 6, which we just saw. And Megan, question: have you got over the 10 pits of Helio Castroneves yet?
The 10 pit lane of Helio Castroneves.
I'm still angry about it.
Still angry about it, you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
No one needs that many pit stops.
There's one with Schwartzman as well, as we've got a radio message from Stroll, I think.
Should I push next lap or go slow again?
Yeah, we're good to push next lap if you can cool the tyres down, try and maintain the position.
Good to push next lap. And the beauty is actually, we've got 2 timing screens now as well. We're showing driver trackers, so if one fails, we've got one already. And we can just slice it in quite easily. So we're liking this. I tell you what, we really are liking this up here in the comms box as well, because also we can open up the radio messages same as you back at home, Josh, and we can see the radio messages coming through as well at the same time. We need a way that we can mirror the screens, I'll tell you. But yeah, we'll be using the battle screen with the new telemetry if we have a driver on an onboard lap and we have a race situation going on as well. So you will see it, and it will be in first practice as well. But at least got one now. And Otmar Safnar sat down with Rachel Brooks.
At a high level. Hopefully that'll last not too much longer because he's leaving. But, you know, it doesn't last forever. We've got to look forward now and fill the open seat that we have with the best driver.
So have you started any negotiations with anyone other than Oscar?
Well, I think the right thing for us to do is to go to the CRB on Monday, see how that pans out, and then start looking at some negotiations in earnest.
Do you believe he's signed a contract with another team for next year?
I think, yeah, for sure.
Is that McLaren, in your understanding?
Yeah.
What are your feelings towards Oscar at the moment?
You know, he's a promising young driver, hasn't driven in Formula One yet, and my wish for Oscar was that he had a bit more integrity. He signed a piece of paper as well, and back in November, and we've done everything on our end of the bargain to prepare him for Formula One, and his end of the bargain was to either drive for us or take a seat where we would place him for the next 3 years. And I just wish Oscar would have remembered what he signed in November and what he signed up to.
Daniel obviously announced the news that he's leaving, which leaves the seat free for Oscar next year. I asked him yesterday if he would come back to Alpine, and he said he would. And I said, do you think they'll have you? And he said, I don't know. From what you've seen, obviously you weren't there when he left, but from what you've seen around the team, do you think the team would have him back?
I mean, the team speak very highly of Daniel and his time here, so we haven't had those strategic discussions yet, but everybody that I asked, the engineering team, and you know, they really speak highly of his skill as a driver and as a team motivator. So,
does he need to persuade Luca Di Maio that he could come back?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Luca, so I don't know.
Interesting calls there then from Otmar Safnar talking to Rachel Brooks a few moments ago as well about the fact that Alonso, this is Carlos Sainz just coming through the Fania chicane, gets a wheel on the exit on that new gravel, Megan, and does very well not to throw it off into the wall, and this is what he said on the radio.
So, main places to improve.
That was a bit of rallying.
Yeah, a bit of rallying.
Sainz.
And this is
Everywhere
Leclerc.
else was good.
And Leclerc was on the radio there as well, as you heard as well. So, and now Max Verstappen again going slow up the hill through a Rouge as well. So,
Just realise hills you're meant to go faster, right?
I know. Let's hear what he has to say.
My tear is stuck in the rear suspension. I'm trying to get it out.
Okay, understood.
How long are his arms to get it out from that? How long are Max Verstappen's arms to go behind the car and pick up the tear off as well? He's trying to disconnect it, of course, but yeah, not great there.
What?
I know.
This is
I've never seen that before as he comes back through. We're just trying to pick on onboards. We're watching Valtteri Bottas at the moment on the iPad up here in the comms box as well. Finally, we've got another screen. I'm so happy that finally the app has been put on the... I can put it on the laptop and my iPad can finally be used with a driver tracker.
Ooh, Lando's just gone into fourth.
Yeah, Lando goes fourth. I think Josh had news though down in the pit lane.
Yeah, sorry.
That was Sainz playing out on my radio end. Go on, Josh.
Yeah, I don't have anything there, but here is Otmar Safnar coming out of the McLaren.
Oh! And Paul di Resta's there shaking his hand. Now, Paul di Resta was supposed to be in the pit lane, and he's not in the commentary box, so Paul's
Did a deal just go through?
Yeah, has a deal just gone through? Look. He's just said, no, don't talk.
Give him a 2-year contract. How old are you now?
36, significantly younger than
Oh,
Fernando.
Paul's in the box.
2-year deal there, then, Paul. Otmar seems happy with you. Did you do a decent deal?
Yeah.
Okay, so jokingly, it's saying that Paul di Resta has done a deal with him as well, but obviously that's not the case because Paul's McLaren's third reserve driver. So maybe he's doing a deal to go there. I don't know what that's about. That's a bit funny to see. Hello to the little owl who says, "Sup, I'm ready for some practice." Hopefully, you're enjoying it and enjoying the fact that we can hear the cars.
I think Alpine is trying to collect everyone.
Again, you're going to have to be in touch.
I think Alpine's trying to collect everyone.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I've turned up your volume, Mike, a little bit on the composition, so that should be okay now.
Every time they see a driver, it's like the Jedi sensing a Jedi force sensitive.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like child in the Republic. Though as soon as it's people like Ferrari and just like Mercedes, it's like, oh, they're out of rim, we don't go for them.
Pierre Gasly comes across the line then. He's 20th at the moment, jumps up to P10 on a 1:49.120. So great time there as well. And no doubt, I don't know, Little Hour, if you were around this morning in the practice, but we've now got the track audio filtered out from the commentary. So everything you're hearing is what's happening out there. Well, if we're really quiet, we can hear Anthony Davidson in the background, because sometimes that happens. But with the car noises, you can't hear anything. Because Fob's camera's having a bit of a mare there.
For a minute, I generally thought
All the tyres.
Perez on the radio there just saying cool the tyres now as well as he comes back through. And Russell's on a proper attack now as well, if you can find something coming through out here as well. And all those months, Megan, of having to Chromecast and TeamViewer and Discord share screen, the iPad, it's all gone now. We've got the perfect setup in the comms box as Russell comes across the line, goes 16th only as well as they come through. Sounds great. I wasn't here earlier. Oh, great. Thanks, Little Alzo. Welcome. And hopefully, just let me know if there's any issues or anything, because then we can fix it. Like if Megan's too quiet, then we'll fix it somehow. This is Carlos Sainz coming through the comp and running off the track as well.
More like running through.
Yeah, more like running through. Josh, what have you got there?
So, this meme has been around and it's been trending currently. I thought I would get involved.
It's Friday, then it's Saturday, Sunday what? Every time I see Lando Norris, he always reminds me of my friend Luke. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get what I mean, don't you? Hi, Luke, if you're watching.
Same vibe.
Yeah, same vibe, yeah. As he comes through. This is Max Verstappen through Pouhon. Double flat, looking good. And Sainz has missed the apex at turn 6 at the moment as well. Josh, is your race control messages actually on the right setting? Because it's showing 2 down at the moment on your app there. Russell Radio, yeah. There you go.
I can't.
Russell can't get any temp in the tyres. Go on, Max.
I was just repeating what he said. It's the only way for me to take in information at the moment because I'm really tired.
Oh, I see.
Can't get any temp in the tyres. Well, maybe because it's wet out there. And another thing, you're in a small traffic jam just then, so no go into this. And you're honestly, you keep stopping unnecessarily every 5 seconds.
Russell's now slow through Blanchimont as well. And it's setting Megan off up here in the comms box. And
there's 8 gears.
Yeah.
Learn how to use them.
Here's a replay then, coming into turn 1 of George Russell at the source. Locks up on the inside. Oh, it's Lewis Hamilton, sorry, yeah.
He's using them.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton having a lock up there down the inside line. He's using the brakes correctly.
Yeah.
A little bit too much, though. Here's Russell. Look, Russell's on the battle computer now on the iPad there with the onboard. And this is Hamilton to Lecombe. Big rain cloud coming forward as well and just losing the rear track. So it's still damp out there. Hamilton's out there on the hard tyres, Megan.
So this is Spa, right?
Yes, Spa-Francorchamps, Stabilo. Just quickly to the YouTube chat. As Mr. Clean 233 has put, Sainz is going hard in practice. He knows he has a chance to win this weekend with Leclerc and Verstappen's qualifying penalties. Yeah, Leclerc and Verstappen starting from the back of the grid, as well as Ocon, Norris, Schumacher, and I can't remember the next one. Josh probably got the list for us. Johnny Herbert's in the pits.
Some people a bit of an idea what happens in the pit stops during the race. So follow me through. The car comes in, then it will stop here. These two lines will actually swing down, and that's where the driver then can see exactly where he needs to put that front wheel in across that yellow line there. Then you'll get this jack, which will then be at the front of the car. That's where he will know with that arrow, whether it's right in the middle. The front will be jacked up. You've got the jack at the rear, which is here, which will be obviously at the back of the car, and that will then get the whole car up in the air. Behind the gantry itself, you've got the air bottles, which are connected to the 4 air guns, which are down at each side of the car here, and of course then the pit stop is done. But while that is all going on, it's all monitored as well. There's a camera, and that would be where the teams will sort of film it, record it, and then analyse it to see if there's any way they can sort of make the driver make sure it gets the perfect stop position, because if you're slightly out by an inch or two, it makes a huge difference in the pit stop. So just a little look at what these gantries do for the race on Sunday.
Thank you, Johnny, as they come through. Here's Kevin Magnussen now, roaring towards the line. Megan?
Drop.
Yeah, Josh and Megan both spotting the same thing. There's a little drop of rain on the front of the camera there.
Let off his slide.
And Johnny Herbert is now sat on the floor.
He's fallen down. He can't get up.
Yeah, well, with his ankles probably. Is he all right actually getting up, Johnny? Somebody
He's just going to crawl.
Yeah, somebody help him with Johnny's ankles. Lewis Hamilton missed the apex of 7 Russell Radio.
Box. I'll put it out the window with the tyres. Go back to us.
Okay, so that was Russell's radio coming through as well, and I completely agree with Josh as well. He said move, beep, beep. I don't think you heard it on the broadcast, sadly, as it comes through. Mercedes to win, though, says the little arrow. Merck have a shot, and Mr. Clean agreeing, and I agree with him too. Yeah, Mercedes definitely have a chance too, but I'd say Sainz is the favourite in that Ferrari. And as the little owl points out, Sainz is a former McLaren driver as well. Oh no, they've gone to an ad break on Sky. Whatever shall we do for audio? Oh, I know. Let's just turn on the multi-screen and nick their audio for a couple of moments as well.
But right now it's sounding like a really weird computer binary system.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
There we go.
Okay, got clear track behind. If you can, Aero P4 fifth gear. It's turn 5, sorry, delay call. Aero P4 fifth gear, that's 200 kph.
That's Ocon, who was on the radio just then, as well as the rest of the cars come through. And this multi-screen is going to come in so handy now we've got it as well. I honestly can't wait as Bottas comes in. Josh, you got any news for us down there in the pit lane?
Yep, so Valtteri Bottas has got a grid penalty of 25 grid positions combined. Mick Schumacher has got a 20-place grid penalty.
Yeah.
What did they
Charles Leclerc has got a 25-place grid penalty. Max Verstappen has got a 25, respectively, like a required to start the race in the back of the grid, and the 5-place grid penalty. And then Lando Norris has got a required to start the race from the back of the starting grid. So that
Lando got
is
it easy.
a lot of drivers starting at the back.
Too many. So is that 7? Is it 7 or 6? Because right now Q1 is irrelevant, and these guys aren't just going to go, oh no. So basically, Saturday qualifying is completely irrelevant to what the grid will look like on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
5 drivers.
5 drivers. Okay.
What did they do to
That is
deserve
Q1.
this?
5 drivers is Q1. So an entire session is going to be muddled up because some of them are going to go through to Q2, some of them are going to go to Q3, but they're starting in the back. We are in for another topsy-turvy grid akin to what we saw in Monza 2017.
What did they do?
All new engines. They've just taken new engines out there. That's all they've done.
And why do some deserve less grid penalties than others?
Well.
Say again, Josh?
Mick Schumacher as well.
Schumacher. Oh, so that has now been confirmed. That was rumoured this morning, but we hadn't heard anything as well.
Can you take off the noises that goes with the toggles because they're on the wheel? It feels like the engine. It feels when I hear it, I think it's the engine all the time.
Copy.
That's Charles Leclerc saying, can you take a look at the engine?
Well, you're meant to hear the engine.
Yeah.
It's not it's not Formula E, Charles.
Can we take off the noises that goes with the toggles because they're a bit weird.
Do you hear it again? Look on the pit lane channel.
It feels when I hear it, I think it's the engine all the time.
Well, it's new, so I hope not.
Yeah, that's a brand new engine they've put in now as well, which is concerning as they come through. As we're back with the TV pictures, Pierre Gasly is the only driver out of the circuit right now, so the battle screen has moved away to pure world feed, the 3-screen pit lane channel. It's now on board with Pierre Gasly as well, and he's looking quite fast, Megan, as well, coming through Blanchimont. But of course, the TV pictures we're seeing at the moment are 40 seconds back, but we're about to return anyway to Sky Sports F1. But Gasly's last lap time then, as he comes through across the line, is a 1 minute 49.352 and goes into 12th position as well. But Leclerc's not happy with the car, as we knew he wouldn't be as well. This is Leclerc's radio again.
That goes with the toggles because they're a bit weird. It feels like the engine. It feels when I hear it, I think it's the engine all the time.
Copy.
So he thinks it's the engine, Megan. Oh, but it's not the engine.
If he's thinking it's the engine, maybe it's a gearbox.
Yeah, it could be actually, yeah. Just better restart that because it's had a paddy as it comes through.
Because I very much doubt it'd be a brand new engine, so the only thing I can think of that will make similar noises to the engines and will come from similar area, or at least make you think it does, is a gearbox.
Yeah, so it's gearbox as the fans pack themselves in, and it looks like they're preparing their coats because I think it's starting to rain out there, Megs. Look at that, so much action. I think it is starting to rain out there. It's almost like they are getting ready to put it up. Oh, the Tiffy's come out on the track. Hey, has Gasly pitted? Is Gasly in the pit lane? Yeah, Gasly's in the pit lane, so the TV now returns. Once again, our pictures we see are a few seconds behind. Aero paint, yeah, on the front of the
Alfa Romeo and
Zhou Guanyu, yeah, who is currently in 7th position, Zhou Guanyu, on a 148.6. You're saying no rain forecasted then?
But that might just be, it might just not be on the radar.
Right.
Mother
but it does look very, very dark.
It does. Sainz and Verstappen are now coming out onto the circuit. So is George Russell.
I don't know what that weather app's saying, though. We're all British. We know what rain looks like.
Yeah, we can tell when it rains. Here's George Russell, though. 4th in Canada, DNF'd in Britain, 4th in Austria, 3rd in France and Hungary. Bar that one race where everybody said we won't count it unless it happens, if Russell stays in the top 5. He is Mr. Consistent. Top 5 in every race he's finished this year. Johnny's down in Red Bull.
They feel is going to be very important for them to be quicker. So, yeah, that new rear wing has gone on the rear of Sergio Perez's car.
So new rear wing then on Sergio Perez's car, as you just heard Johnny Herbert say as well. Cars are coming out onto the circuit as well, with 35 minutes and 50 seconds to go of this race, and Russell's looking quite good at the moment, isn't he, Megan, as he comes into the bus stop chicane. He's on the soft compound tyres. This is a quick run now, and we're going to open up the battle cam because it's an audio up lap, which means that we can now open up, if it works, because we're just waiting for it. Let's open up that telemetry for, where is it, Russell? That's what we need. But, oh, look at this. The track map's not happy with us. Yeah, it's not happy with us that we're doing this, so it's gone a bit wobbly. But that's what we need. We need Russell for head-to-head telemetry as it comes through. Up the hill through Eau Rouge looks a fantastically good opportunity as well. Here he is now through the gap as well on the driver tracker. Here we go. 320 kilometres an hour, Megan, as he comes into the braking zone from the Con chicane. Slap on the brakes, look, all the way down. 139 kilometres an hour he took through that. That's about 97 miles an hour. And he's already back on the throttle. So this is live telemetry of what George Russell is doing right now out there on the circuit. And he's going for it, isn't he, Mex? He's probably going fast.
Yes. So, he keeps hitting wet patches.
Yeah.
It's like he has a radar for him.
And a big kick of dust as well. And on board through Pouan. Over 275 miles an hour. Just listen to the car sing. Into the Fania chicane then. Still at 190 kilometres as he fires out towards Stavolo. Into Stavolo now, drops it down, back on the power of the exit. This is live telemetry from George Russell's car that we are getting right here, right now, as it's still all circulating massively. Through Blanchimont at over 300 kilometres an hour. Watch him slap on the brakes now. All the way from 8th gear, 300 kilometres. Look, hit the brakes hard. All the way down. 2nd gear corner for the bus stop. Lifts on the throttle, lifts off. Back on the accelerator. Cross the line now for George Russell. What's the lap time? Russell goes 3rd, 1:47.852. And you saw the telemetry and heard it with the audio perfectly in sync there. That's what that battle camera can do. And that's what we're looking forward to be doing.
The fronts are there, especially the front and left.
Later on in the session.
Rears are also looking okay.
Rears also looking okay. There's Stoffel Van Dorn, the world champion of Formula E, coming through there as well. Well, that needs a bit of work, to be fair, the timing graphic, because it keeps readjusting itself as well. But yeah, look at that now. It's completely crashed on my end up here in the comms box, and the map doesn't know what to do with itself. There we go. It'll readjust itself quick enough as they come across the line. Josh has got news for us, though, down in the stewards as well with something, and we'll put him on main camera for this, because he's got this info that he wants to talk to us about, but I can't seem to find it. Your screen, again, seems to have disappeared, Josh. So that's really annoying. So what we're going to do is going to put you in full focus for a second. That's me. Hang on. Right, okay. Let's put you on max screen. Josh, what have you got for us?
Yeah, this just makes me laugh. Tatiana called someone coming back to Formula 2 this weekend and has tweeted, "Thanks for the warm welcome." You look in the replies, everyone saying Chadwick.
Oh.
Chadwick. The one odd person. Welcome back.
Well, at least that's something that they know. She's not Jimmy Chadwick, but Tatiana Calderon's been racing fantastically this year in other series as well, including IndyCar. Done a really successful campaign with IndyCar as Lewis Hamilton comes through the chicane. Go on, Max.
I just said she has.
Yeah. Oh, Hamilton there. Such big oversteer at the moment.
It sounded like his car wanted to turn away.
It completely bottomed out, didn't it, through the Curve de Portfrais. Flat out through Blanchimont, though, which is good. Stroll goes 3rd, 1:46.635.
That's new.
Yeah, Lance Stroll going up the order, really improving there. As we'll get to the YouTube comments in just a second.
Vettel 7th.
Oh, wow.
And Hamilton crosses the line into 5th.
1:46.893. Here's Norris. Norris 3rd.
Ooh. That's what I was about to say. For some reason, as he was coming up to the line, it looked like he was taking off into the air, like in Greece.
Don't mention Greece. Flashbacks to Mum's party. Oh, well. As it comes through. La Source, though, is, I believe, where we're going to see Naomi shift. Naomi, down to you.
Lots going on.
Martin, of course. Martin's here. Down to you, Martin.
And if you look up, somebody's got a good position up there, like a bar and restaurant hanging over the outside of the circuit. But of greater interest to us is that gravel trap on the outside of turn 1. And that is completely new. I think I first raced here in 1981. I've only ever known running wide, go over the rain gully and get an extra bit of speed through the Exodus corner. We see them squabbling in over the first lap, first corner, running wide. There's so many options. It's all been taken away by what looks like a really deep gravel trap there. Many cars just edging up towards it in terms of trying to find maximum traction, and to see which cars can make the apex nicely is quite unusual in here. The Red Bull and the Ferrari really turn in nicely to the apex of the corner. They can make the curb on the inside. Many of the cars are it's very long, of course, the Formula 1 cars now. Some of them are really quite ponderous in terms of they turn in, the car washes out in the middle of the apex. Nothing coming around at the moment and here comes George Russell. The Mercedes is not too bad, but you can see how wide the car took him through the exit of the corner there. And that is it's really quite telling and dramatically different as to how cars turn in. Back in the day, what we used to do here, when the old pits down the hill were the main Formula One pits, we'd feign a mistake, go right up to the end here on the left-hand side in the runoff area, and then take a massive run-up to be going faster through the speed trap at the bottom of the hill, I say, when the pits were on the other side. I completely agree how great these numbers are on the side of the Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton going through there. You get instant recognition out here beside the track as to which driver you're looking at. And it's so good, I have to say. Something we should be focusing a lot more on. As there, Sebastian Vettel didn't trouble the apex at all in the Aston. The Aston looks a little bit difficult to turn here in turn one. I'm going to wander back down, see if I can get to Eau Rouge in time, Crofty.
Martin Brundle there, who's going to head off into the woods. Here is Lance Stroll on board now on the cameras. And let's go through then some of the YouTube comments, and we'll give Josh a second to recalibrate what he needs to say. As Stroll's saying, is there rain coming? It just looks like it's starting to just see drops. Nothing big on the radar, so it's just droplets, as Josh was on about. Mr. Clean says, I guess we shouldn't count out Perez either, but he hasn't really been gelling with that car since the updates. I'd love to see Russell get one personally. That's a race victory. Coming through, the little towels are putting a lot saying, I'll read them all of them. By my calculations, 6 of the 20 drivers have driven for McLaren at some point, including the current drivers. Well, Norris, Ricciardo, and this is Norris now at the bus stop. Getting launched over there. Stroll. Stroll blocking Norris coming into the bus stop. Stroll might be taking a look up for that actually, because he braked completely. He slowed down in the braking zone. That's not allowed. So count count Ricciardo and Norris. Who else has driven for them? We've had Sainz, Hamilton, Alonso has driven for them, as well as Magnussen. Oh, that's it. You're right. 6. Yeah, they're the 6 coming through. Good calculations there, little Al.
Those who go into McLaren, they don't tend to want to come back after that.
Yeah, that's true. Jack Crawford needs to get permission from the stewards to race because he did not set a lap time with 107%. That's in the Formula 3. Enzo Trulli summoned to the stewards for an unsafe release. There's a lot also saying in response to the news that Tatiana Calderon is back, saying, I'm happy she's getting another chance, but give Chadwick a chance. Yeah, absolutely. Also, Calderon's IndyCar career, to put simply, was terrible. Yeah, she hasn't had the best look over there. And back at the back all the time, yeah. And Jake Hughes leaves F2 to focus on finding a Formula E seat. And what the hell is Stroll doing? Blind, that's what Stroll's doing. But Tatiana Calderon is a great racer, and she's great in the Endurance Championship. But she hasn't had a look in IndyCar, and I think she got kicked out of Formula 2 as well. But I think we all agree Jamie Chadwick definitely deserves a shot. Out of the, 5 races around W Series, she's won...
She won an entire season's worth.
In a year, yeah.
Not just in a year, I think it was in a row.
Yes, it was in a row, yeah. Undefeated in a 12-month period.
It was scary.
As they come through. Calderon has 3 wins across her entire career. Jamie has a lot of wins over there as well. As Josh, you check the weather forecast. What's it looking like out there as well as we now get back with Esther and Ocon through the Malmedy sections of the track? What's it looking like?
I've checked 2 radars. I've checked multiple radars, possibly more than 2, and I see no rain at all. But
it looks dismal.
Yeah.
That's really weird because when we look at the clouds, it looks like it's going to absolutely pour it down.
And fans seem to think so too, since they're getting their coats.
Typical Spa weather then, isn't it? As they come through. There's Esteban.
I think the weather service needs to update Belgium.
Yeah. I agree, it does, yeah. Esteban Ocon then on board, you're hearing. As they file through Blanchimont down towards the chicane. Megan's headphones now taken off. Megan also realising that when you take your headphones off now, you can't hear anything coming from the speakers because we don't need the speakers anymore. So the speakers are what's helping this process happen. But
we see that you are very sharp on the turn-in turn 8, in turn 12. So if we can be a little bit more progressive.
A little bit more progressive is what needs to happen out there as well as we come through on the driver track. Lando Norris, the only driver from outside Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes to be on the podium this year. He took 3rd place at Imola, of course, as well, and was a shining beacon of exactly what McLaren need for the future. Whether or not they put in Oscar Piastri or not is the other question. We haven't turned down anything. It's just that the pit lane's really quiet at the moment, and you're not hearing much on those cameras as well coming through. Josh is back in. You've checked the weather radar once again. How's it all looking?
I see nothing at all, but
yeah.
That's rain radars for you. Sometimes they say it's there's nothing at all, and you look outside and it's absolutely pouring it down. But
and let's go offset 0, shape 3 for more migration. And we try to focus on the steering input to reduce the front end rotation.
As Gasly's radio then coming through.
Let's talk.
Go on.
I don't know if you've already brought it up before I came in the 5-minute pre-show, but this is not Belgium's Grand Prix last year on the calendar.
Oh no, we haven't actually. Yes, we haven't actually brought that up yet. Yes, you're right. Spa is staying for another year because the talks with the South African embassy, Marcus Schechter, who is the nephew of Jody Schechter, the talks have fallen through. So we won't be racing in South Africa until at least 2024. So yeah, Belgium stays for 2023, and it's going to.
I don't want it to go at all.
Just quickly, it's going to be a 24 race calendar. But let's have a good Stein on the pit wall, Crofty.
Hi, Crofty. Yeah, there was some issue with his battery, the high voltage system, so we had to change the battery completely. But now it's out there again. Yeah.
Which is good to see. Have conditions changed quite a bit out on the track from FP1? We've seen George Russell talk about lack of time.
I'm going to have to interrupt. We've got a yellow flag somewhere on the circuit, so I'm interrupting because that yellow.
Show.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I'm not seeing anything on this monitor, but we've gone green. So back. We'll go back.
Our lack of temperature in the tire, just lack of top speed on the long straights. That's what we are lacking in the moment.
Yeah, what can you do about that? How can you get a bit more speed? Take a bit more wing off? That doesn't help with temperature though, does it necessarily?
No, I mean, we are on the lowest level. We have got always on this high-speed tracks. We always struggled this year, Baku and so on. So there's nothing left we can take off. It's just like a little bit making the engine mapping a little bit better and things like this. But aerodynamically, we cannot take any more downforce off.
It's strange. It'll be a difficult one to fathom for the fans out there, Gunther, because in Austria we saw the car supremely quick in the straight line relative to the cars around it. I remember seeing it, the Mercedes, for example, really struggling to overtake your cars in a straight line. But you're saying that's missing here. How does that happen with the different wing levels that you run?
It's the wing level you need for the other sectors in Austria, which worked for us. We could take a lot of downforce off and being straight, but we still had enough downforce for the slower corners. So here you've got 2 really long straights, and it's just like we cannot take enough off. If you see the middle sector, we are pretty fast in here. You know, in the fast corners we are good, but just on the straight lines we are not fast enough because we have too much track in it.
So are you basically saying, therefore, that your car is more efficient when you run it at higher downforce than when you run it at lower downforce?
You got that right.
Do you want to hire him as an engineer?
I mean, he can apply for it.
You don't want that. You don't. I'm just reading it. I'm just reading it all.
Listen, you've got enough people applying for positions with you guys at the moment. You know, you might have a new driver next season. You might keep the same driver lineup next season. Where do you stand on that one?
Is that your application for the driver?
Well, I've done only 3 laps in a Formula 1 car. You might want a bit more experience, and I'm older than Fernando Alonso, but you know I'm game.
He comes with a lot of downforce, Gunther.
Yeah, but not efficient. Shut up.
So we can have Crofty as a driver and you as an engineer, the perfect pairing. No, back to be serious here. I mean, as I said many times today and yesterday, we have not made a decision, and I cannot even say it anymore. So often I've said it, you know. We haven't made a decision yet, and we wait a little bit longer. Everybody wants not everybody, quite a few people want the position or the driver position, and but you can wait a little bit longer.
Good, thanks ever so much. You're being drowned out by cars behind you.
No change there then. Thanks again. And the reason for that yellow flag was Gasly off at turn 8. Josh has told us as well on the battles as well. And you saw it, Megan and Josh. Oh, we're seeing it again. Look, just going straight on down the track. And actually, no, we're not hearing anything. Okay, yeah, just went straight off the track, Megan, and went into the gravel and got back again. Luckily.
So I don't understand how whenever people go into the gravel here, they don't seem to stay in it.
It's sharper gravel than normal, but surprisingly enough, it's not having the bitiness effect of everything.
Can we have this gravel everywhere? Because I actually prefer this.
Yeah, it's holding it together quite nicely as well, which is what I'm enjoying seeing as well as it comes through. Russell is 5 seconds down on his lap time at the moment, so he's not going anywhere. And next time Martin we throw down to him, I think he's going to try and get to the source as well. I'm going to nip and grab a drink. As Russell comes into the bus stop chicane now, heavy on the brakes, flicks the car through, left and right, or right then left. The old bus stop used to go right, left, and now they've changed it to this. What is it, a bus stop? As the old bus stop here at Spa used to actually be looking like a bus stop. It went left, then right, and then went down a little bit, and then it went right, left again. Now this one just goes right, left. It's a bit boring, but there's some people. Yes, there's some people, Megan, with ponchos on, but are packed fans. After last year, we're nearly 142,000.
Yeah, just keep posted with rain levels.
Copy that. Russell's happy.
Here we go.
What, is it raining? Weather
Yeah.
radar. Yeah, it's raining. Weather radar rains. Sky got on an ad break as well, which is great. But, well, it's bad, but it's great as well. Let's hope it doesn't. There we go. Keep the radio going. So it's starting to rain here at Spa-Francorchamps with 16 minutes to go of the session, just like it did in free practice number 1. And these battle times are going to get absolutely fantastic, aren't they? Let's see what they can do in the rain. It's going to be pure chaos, isn't it?
Do you remember last year?
Yeah, good point, actually.
Not going to be not just going to be torrential rain. It's going to be... Okay, everyone, welcome to what a driver's hell is. Take your seat. Going to be here for about 4 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be a long, long wait into this one as well. For this, let's hope, well, at least we've got a time session so much as well as Josh is getting out the weather radar as well up there just to show you everything as well coming through. And the amount of rain that we are having here is not going to be nice. We saw in practice 1 at the end. Megan?
I keep seeing my ad and I just want to eat those biscuits.
They do look tasty, don't they? They're like wafers with biscuits in them as well. They look incredibly tasty.
We should get some of those.
Well, I still haven't had my Le Mans biscuits, you know.
What, Le Mans biscuits?
Yeah, I got for my birthday. I haven't had them yet. I'm going to have them soon.
You've got biscuits for your birthday?
Just a little pack of Le Mans biscuits as well. Oh, and there's somebody trying to put a plastic poncho on, and it is now starting to rain here at Spa-Francorchamps. We haven't heard anything else on the radar yet, but loads of cars have just come out the pit lane and are starting to do some more exploratory lap times. So it's all go now as Alexander Albon was just flying up the hill as well. He's on a faster lap time and looking quite competitive. And in fact, Megan, looking a little bit sideways as it's starting to get that little bit of mist down the Campbell Straight.
Oh, yes, it is. Luckily, it's only 14 minutes left.
Yeah, everyone knows what that means as well, with just the impending doom of the weather.
Also, 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes to go, yeah.
We're in the line.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't red flag it yesterday like they did as well, and it's all going to be good. But
I really don't want them to.
Yeah, Max Verstappen looking through. I remember when the pit lane channel used to literally be about cameras in the pit lane, so you could see other things.
Now we
it's-
never see it.
Now we never see it. It's on boards now, so it's not even the pit lane channel anymore.
It's just the onboard.
Yeah, we need a separate channel for the pit lane, because the beauty of it, I mean, this is good for when we're off air, but the beauty of it was you could see the on-air pictures, and then you could see what was going on in the pit lane.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, you could see everything, and now it's
now we've got
been
within
lost.
the scenes.
Yeah, it's been lost, isn't it? We've got 2 onboards alongside, but that's not pure.
Next thing you know, we'll be
things.
getting Lando Norris's foot pedalling down on the brake or accelerator.
Yeah, the
pedal.
foot cam. We had that with Danny Rick this morning in practice 1, just on the Halo cameras. It came on the front on the heads-up
They
Halo.
have cameras everywhere. How many times a day do they have to replace those?
I know. I think the team must do it, but the Form's broadcast team is insane. It's got so much data in it as well, and so many people again pay for F1 TV. We've got this because we pay for Sky Sports, so we get to see that on there as well and see some things. As Albon's actually jumping up, but Megan Alonso's just gone 7th. I'll just let you know, Alonso's 7th on the circuit right now. And this is Lewis Hamilton on the way into. Oh, he's locked up and gone straight on, Megs. Coming through.
Who hasn't today?
Yeah, and they're perfectly synced.
Yeah, my front tire is dead.
And that's Alonso.
Okay, let me know if you like a front wing adjustment.
That's what's happened.
Alonso's looking like a fireworks display.
Like 1.5 degrees more.
That's Verstappen's radio as Carlos Sainz touches the gravel again. What is it about Carlos Sainz? He can't not find the gravel, can he?
He's going to take some home with him.
Yeah, probably is. Oh, look, Megan. Fernando Alonso. But Martin Brundle is at Eau Rouge, the red water. And it's raining.
Through this newly resurfaced section, Max Verstappen was telling me before I came out, it's actually a slightly tougher turn left now, a little bit tighter left. The Ferrari's still
he's off! He's in the wall!
Big oversteer in the middle of the climb up the hill and scooped it up at the
Did
top.
he?
I don't know
Yeah,
which
he
Ferrari
has it.
it
There's
was.
a yellow.
That looked particularly scary up there.
He spun
I
in the
must
top of the
say,
hill, Martin.
As Lewis Hamilton. Oh, and another car sliding.
Yeah, that's Hamilton. They're all going off.
They're really at risk up there at the
Yellow
moment.
flags.
In the middle of the corner, where they're really leaning heavily as they turn right and climb. And there's still not
so
quite
it's,
enough downforce to be able. Oh, and another one twitching at the top of the hill. They are absolutely going for it. But when they get up there, they're finding there's not a whole lot of grip. So, yeah, Sergio Perez goes through as well. So Max telling me it's slightly tighter left at the bottom of the hill. They've taken the compression out so the cars don't hit the ground quite as hard. But you can see all the yellow marks on the track. That's the skid blocks and the plank
Yellow flag
underneath the
again.
cars, the plank particularly leaving a deposit
Sainz
as you
off
see
the track,
the
turn
line
9.
going up the hill and the sparking of the skid blocks as well as the cars
Sainz
are
off turn
really
9.
heavily loaded with oversteer. The rain stopped a little bit here now, so drivers still risking everything up there. Absolutely extraordinary how much commitment they've got through there on these longer race runs, but the speed of the cars, the sheer
On still the same
energy
situation
that goes
in
on
Eau Rouge
as
on
they
the
come down the hill. We've got
a
one
little
more.
bit of
We've
drizzle
got
there.
an AlphaTauri coming at us now, and a little bit more circumspect that time through. So, yeah, they might have widened it at the top. Entirely convinced it's a huge amount safer up there because sooner or later you've all got to filter back in. But at least in that respect, they haven't got that nasty barrier on the right that was turning cars at 90 degrees back across the track at Radion over the top of the hill there. So Eau Rouge very much remains a challenge, especially in these conditions. And what a wonderful sight it is to see a Formula One car flat chat through here. Back to you, Crofty.
With a shelter.
Well done, Martin. And this is Lewis Hamilton's moment at the top of the hill, going straight on. And we also, this is on board, properly had an oversteer, and so did Charles Leclerc. They both nearly went right into the wall. Martin was right. In fact, I thought he did go in the wall, as his track's very slippery. This is Lando Norris down at the com. No grip at all, Josh. This rain's come out of nowhere again.
Yeah, and Kevin Magnussen also did the same. Let's hear from Norris.
Yeah, it breaks and it just wasn't there. Go on, Josh.
Yeah, and just doing the same, avoiding the bumps as they are deadly.
Yeah, not
Those
good.
bumps are really deadly, and
DRS. DRS disabled, so I've just noticed that on the log.
To get out of a session since it's raining, do you know what I would have done?
What?
Gone over the bumps. It's like, oh, sorry, the rain was on my visor.
Yeah, too much bumpiness. So just going to end it there, yeah.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to sort my floor out. I mean, if it's raining tomorrow, then c'est la vie.
Well, Lando Norris almost put it in the wall again, actually, and he was off the track and continued down at turn 6. That's down at that's again down at the chicane. He said he's gone through that section. Lando's back in the pit lane now. Yeah, he's gone for a second time.
It's raining quite a bit here now.
And that's Lando saying it's raining quite a bit. So just as in the end of practice 1, it's starting to rain again at the end of practice 2, and it really came down at the end of that. So that's the F2 qualifying going to be fun.
This just proves that rain cannot, or the weather in general, cannot be predicted properly by any of these sites that show weather.
I mean, we just looked up and saw it was going to rain, didn't we?
You want someone...
Oh, and that's a ass through the gravel. Is that going to get beached? I can't tell which one it is right now. It's Schumacher, down at Malmedy. So Schumacher continuing on again.
Do you know what a true weather app is? A British person. Just tell them to look up. We'll tell you what the weather's going to be all day.
It's always going to rain. Just always carry an umbrella. I literally always carry an umbrella because you're going to need to take the sun off your back, or as a parasol, or you're going to need to take the rain off your back.
Exactly. And if it's snowing, then you've got something to dig your way out.
This is Mick Schumacher on the softs, just getting a big oversteer coming out of Le Combe into Malmedy. And
he's floored in like that.
Yeah. This is the Williams of Alexander Albon locking up and going straight on across the bumps at the comms and going through those sleeping policemen as well, Megan.
For a second, I thought he'd hit his head on the halo.
Yellow.
Where's this one now?
Exit of turn 7, and look at that bouncing.
Take a pick.
Fernando Alonso.
Schumacher again. Schumacher turn 7, sector 8. So where's that on the circuit on the mini-map?
That would be exit of turn 7, so that might have been a delayed message.
Yeah, it could be just the filters coming back through.
Take your pick of where the yellows are. I mean, they're everywhere.
Schumacher's the only driver on the track right now as well. I think Russell's pitted as well, so Schumacher's going to come in and either an old bolt on a set of softs, sort of inters. Let's listen.
It's just super hard to recognize where the wet patches are.
Yeah, understood.
If there's a puddle, don't go near it.
Pretty much simple, yeah. Megan again with her sound advice that you had. And here's that off at turn 7. Albon's missed the apex at turn 6 as well. And Schumacher off at turn 7. So these are messages that are coming through.
Ready?
Go on.
Lando Norris, 2 times. Then Magnussen, Zhou, Leclerc, Alonso, all missing the apex of turn 6, and Schumacher off track and continued at turn 7. Turns 5, 6 and 7 at Le Combe is not a friend to the drivers right now, and Albon missing the apex of turn 6. Here is a replay of Max Verstappen going through Le Combe, and 5
I think this is a replay of his fast lap, isn't it? Because he's the top dog in this session.
It's just super hard to recognize where the wet patches are.
That's Schumacher's radio.
Understood.
Yeah, that's Schumacher's radio coming through as well. Let's hear from Lando Norris. He's just been on the team radio as well, if it plays.
The back half of the track is fine, but this first sector is just getting worse. For such a high-speed sector, so that goes so easy to do something wrong.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And of course, Megan, we've got a lot of weather predicted tomorrow for qualifying and practicing qualifying as well, which could delay us in qualifying. Yeah, big rain for quality tomorrow. But
I'll clear all my schedule for the next week then.
Yeah, but honestly, just like to point out, it's dry for the race on Sunday. Dry weather.
Somebody tells me that's not going to happen.
Oh yeah, we'll probably end up with catacombs of rain again, and we get a washout. But
rain likes Belgium.
I love Belgium though; it's such a great track, and
it reminds me
unusual
of
so much
England
rain
with its weather.
Yes, I know what you mean. I don't think we're going to get any more running, as the fans now start to get their plastic ponchos on with 5 minutes to go as well. Hashtag Belgian Grand Prix on Twitter. Get in touch as well on the YouTube chat.
Some are leaving.
Yeah, so, well, they're going to go and get some food. Many people camp here, of course. It's the second biggest camping race of the year. The first being Silverstone, the second being here in Belgium. The other one, can you name the other track where it's famous for camping?
I don't know.
Hockenheim.
Doesn't surprise me.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I wish Hockenheim would come back. Such a great circuit, great racing. Nürburgring was okay, looking back. But Belgium's one of my favourite races of the year as well, and especially with that view. It's almost seductive, that valley, isn't it? You really want to go for it. And who's leaving the pit lane? Who's going out on the track? Someone's going out there. Can't tell who it is yet.
That is Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll, the two
Ah.
Aston Martins. And if you think Megan's bad, I'm going to turn my microphone volume down because 24 races in a year?
Yeah, 24 races is next year's calendar with the return of the Chinese Grand Prix. Yeah.
Wait, next year? Okay. Do you know what I love? The fact that just as the year that I do my full A levels and do my exams and then go off to uni, everyone are like, do you know what? Let's
More
up
races.
Yeah. Well, I'd just like to point out, Megan, that even though you are here for some F1 races in the first half of the year, and then in the second half you'll be away with a camera and a microphone and all that lot, but we do have replacements for you now.
I know, but it's just making it so difficult for me.
I know, 24 F1 races, 44 Moto GP races, that's half sprint, half racing, 30 British touring car races, 18 Formula E races, 22 Formula 2 races, 18 Formula 3 races, and then another 22 Moto 2 and Moto 3 races, 8 Moto E races, and 16 IndyCar races, and one Le Mans 24 hour.
And
I can't think of anything else.
W Series.
Oh, I've already mentioned W Series.
Yeah.
Eight
Le
of
Mans
them.
24 hours?
Yeah, I mentioned Le Mans. Yeah, I mentioned Le Mans.
Indy 500.
Well, looks like someone that you are looking at here that might be doing a debut in Formula 2
Oh, and
Formula 3.
And I forgot as well, Daytona.
Yeah.
Daytona 500. I'll be on that call with USON as well.
And then you've got PSGL, ERT, and everything else.
This is why me and Paris are creating a schedule for our studies.
Aston have gone out there on the on the full wet tyres as well, but it's too dry for that, so that seems to me is just scrubbing them in a little bit, ready for some grips tomorrow as well, which is a good idea. But yes, just like to point out, there is an awful lot of racing next year to be done as well, and I don't know where we're going to find the time. So this channel might have another lead commentator, in fact, a whole set of other lead commentators, not just yourself, Megan, calling a few races. Matthew Owens might be in, Edward Hunter might be in as well for a couple as well. Tom Dillon is another commentator I know is really good. Richie, a really great lead commentator as well. And of course, Josh, we want to get him on a lead race at some point in the future. Go on, Josh, say again.
Yep, I'm here as well, but
Well, I was only saying about lead commentators, but I know I really want to get you on one lead commentary at some point. The time will come when we need you to do a race, and your hour will come to lead the commentary.
When did I first lead by myself?
Spain. In terms of live broadcasting, Spain last year in qualifying was the first time you led the commentary.
But in terms of in the history of our commentating,
2019.
No, it was earlier than
2018.
that.
2018.
No, it was earlier than that.
No, really, it was 2018. Do you know why it was 2018?
No, I know it was earlier than that.
Well, I can't remember. As cars coming out now, lining up
I'm not
next to
talking specific Formula 1.
Traffic jam.
There'll be something you've led that I can't remember. But the
MotoGP.
Oh, MotoGP 2015.
Yes.
No, 2014.
Yeah, it was either 2014
one of those years when I was really ill and you led the Indianapolis race in 2014 or 15, one of the two, yeah. Because I was ill that weekend.
Sebastian, from your side, is it
First one I ever led.
sensible to go out and try to start on a drive?
That's Vettel.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to make it round.
Anyway, cars coming back out on the track then. Up the street, yeah.
A 9 or 10-year-old having to lead commentary.
Well, that's because I was ill that weekend as well, so you took the MotoGP as well, and I was not well at all. As the checker flag is out, the session's over, but
7 or 8 years later, I'm still traumatised.
yeah, I was not well at all for that one, so Megan led the whole weekend, actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything. I was completely... I remember watching the race in the front room.
I had to do that, school.
Yeah.
Didn't I have to make a Globe Theatre around that time or something?
That was, yeah, around
Or
about
was that
there.
my heart I had to make?
It was your heart you had to make, yeah. But just have to point out as well, first time you actually led an F1 session was 2018 when you took a load of practice. Every weekend you were doing that year, you took practice 3. So you used to commentate on practice,
that.
yeah. And then we stopped doing that for some reason.
Because I started
doing W Series, that's it, yeah.
And I also started having exams.
Yes,
that
that
were
was
major.
it, yeah.
Okay,
So
Daniel,
W
there's a
Series
few,
and exams.
there's, no burnouts, no burnouts. There's a
It's
few
alright.
cars left, so there may be a
Might
big
like
queue
you to
for the
know
launch. If the queue for the launch is huge, just drive around.
That also, there was time when I used to miss practice sessions because I was at university. So for that year, half a year, I'd like to point out, Ian Burch actually led the commentary team.
Yeah.
For some,
And occasionally a guest star with me.
Some first practice sessions he led, yeah. Go on, Josh, say again.
Yeah, that's going to start up for me again. I've been living in luxury with the council absolutely messing up, and I've been out of school for 20 weeks.
Oof.
Now, so I'm in luxury with all of this Formula One, but
I remember that with lockdown.
Yeah.
I question.
Yeah.
How is the YouTube stream going to be controlled if I'm leading?
You'll learn.
I can start it, but you'll have OBS and everything. So.
We'll teach
That's
you.
a good idea. That's true, actually. I do have OBS.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll have all the OBS graphics for that race if you need you. So it'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
We'll work it out behind the scenes.
Yeah. You'll have a co-commentator anyway. I'm not just going to leave you completely on your own.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Bye.
that's
I
later.
just have a habit of doing that eventually.
Yes, Megan does.
Yep.
Susie. Go on, Josh.
I get them. I just look at my phone. Oh, there's a message from Josh. Right, I'm leaving you with the free practice, free commentary on your own. Have fun.
Oh,
I've had that message before.
Look at this. Pit lane exit incident involving car 1. Verstappen noted
because
pit lane infringement. Go on.
That was because he skipped the line.
No, did he?
Yes.
Oh.
So basically,
He was too
what
excited
happened
seeing his dad.
was the let's say here was the pit exit, like actual pit exit lane, and then here's the starting box, and Verstappen came up and went
Completely
side
around
by
it, yeah.
side with a Mercedes waiting to practice. And
Here it is.
is.
Here it is.
Look at that.
So this is Max Verstappen, who's been under investigation for the pit stop infringement. Oh, he's gone launched in the wrong area, and an Alpine's gone through
Not in
as
the
well.
box.
Yeah, he's not in the right box, so he's done a practice start.
He wasn't even in a box.
Now, Lewis Hamilton did that in the race, and he got a drive-through penalty, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look. I'm trying to have a look at the race director's notes to see if there's anything about practice starts may be carried out on the right-hand side of the pit exit road after turn 1 and before safety car line 2. During this time, any driver passing a car which has stopped to carry out practice start may cross the white line, but for reasons of safety and sporting equality, cars may not stop in the fast lane at any point in the pit lane exit. As well, we're just trying to look. Practice starts are permitted to be carried out by any driver who wishes to perform practice start must form up in a line and leave in the order they got there unless any car is unduly delayed. So, that... Yeah, all drivers carrying out practice start must do so by pulling as far forward to the grid as possible. I think that's the standing start grid as well. So, yeah, Max has broken the race director's rules. And this is it, look. So he goes alongside the Mercedes. He's in the wrong grid slot.
He's barely in a grid slot.
Yeah, and he's going to launch. So there you go. Look. He's launching now. 3, 2, 1 away. And Ocon goes out. Well, I can't see what's wrong with that, to be fair. It was the Alpine that sort of
just suddenly
appeared. Yeah.
Oh, practice start. I'll ruin it.
Yeah. From my point, how do you read that, Josh? Because my point of view, that's the Alpine's fault, not Verstappen's fault.
Yeah, it's a weird one, to be honest, but I think what they're not showing is what they're
You saw, yeah.
or noted, which is going too wide. There, I believe on that there's a car to the right preparing for a practice start. So I believe they're too wide. But here we are, practice 2 results.
Yes, Max Verstappen takes the session for Charles Leclerc second and Lando Norris going in third. It's 4th place for Lance Stroll, 5th for Carlos Sainz. Lewis Hamilton is 6th, Fernando Alonso 7th, George Russell is 8th, Danny Ricciardo 9th, and Sergio Perez rounds out the top 10 filling order as well. Further down on the board, it's Alexander Albon in 11th, Zhou Guanyu is 12th, Yuki Tsunoda 13th, Pierre Gasly is 14th, 15th for Sebastian Vettel, 16th Esteban Ocon, 17th for Kevin Magnussen, 18th Valtteri Bottas, 19th Nicholas Latifi, and 20th for Mick Schumacher as well in this session. I just noticed that graphic was wrong as well because it's deleted itself throughout the field. Okay, that's the session concluded then, everybody. Opinions, please. How did you find it? And,
Rainy.
Answers on a postcard. Hopefully they're all good. First of all to you, Megan.
Rainy.
Rainy. That's it, rainy.
And skiddy.
Rainy and skiddy. Words to live by, Megan. Thanks for that. Josh, how did you find it?
I'm trying to find a pen to write my postcard. Interesting.
I'll do it, yeah. Find the postcard and then we'll know as they all come through as well. Okay, here's your coverage details then. Going forward, we'll be back tomorrow at 11:45 for practice number 3. Myself, Megan and Josh once again, or maybe Dad's going to come in depending on his eyes. I don't know who, because he's not been well, so it might be you. As well, Richie might also be with us if his computer's doing okay. So Richie might replace Megan and join me and Josh as well.
It's weird I have to crack my back sometimes like this.
Yes, and also you can then join us qualifying. What's that? Interesting. There's the pen and there's the note. You can then join us as well for qualifying. We're on here at 2:30. The session gets underway at 3 with a special build-up to qualifying show as well. And as the music comes on in the background, I'm going to say my thanks to Josh Plays and my thanks to Megan. We'll see you tomorrow for all the action. Don't forget, first thing in the morning though, Formula 3 kicks us off. Myself and Synthel will be in the commentary box for that one. It's going to be a great one. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.